Hello, my name is Bryan Hoglund. I'm a senior manager of the NGS Business Solutions at Twist Bioscience. Today, I'd like to discuss our new product line for the application of targeted methylation sequencing. For those of you who are not familiar with Twist, we make DNA and we make it very well. We create end-to-end workflows that utilize library construction and hybrid capture target enrichment to answer questions in various application spaces. We feel there is a new era in epigenetics where early detection cancer screening, among others, are coming into full fruition. We wanted to extend our value of our current product line and offer the same exceptional performance and flexibility used in our other applications. Starting from the basics, the workflow. We developed a pre-capture conversion workflow that increases library complexity and decreases the amount of DNA input required, which is very important in cell-free DNA applications. However, this creates a need for a complex design algorithm since the reference target has been significantly modified in pre-capture conversion. Relying on the power of our platform and its ability to print millions of oligos at a time, we were able to develop a system that designs against the sense and antisense of the target DNA and against the unmethylated and methylated species. In the end, we designed against 8 distinct probes that capture variations of the methylation states, giving the highest library complexity and sensitivity in target enrichment. Following the design, we wanted to create the best end-to-end workflow available. Through our technical due diligence, we saw a very disruptive library preparation kit with an innovative methylation conversion module in the NEBNext EM-Seq kit. We partnered with NEB to bring the best targeted enrichment solution to the market. Further development of the target enrichment produced an optimized target enrichment chemistry and a methylation enhancer to reduce off-target hybridization. Bringing in these new products to use with stringency control of high-quality pre-optimized panel designs leads to the best end-to-end solution available. The NEBNext EM-Seq kit utilizes enzymes for methylation conversion that is highly superior to traditional bisulfite conversion. First, a TET2 enzyme, an oxidation enhancer, block the methyl and hydroxymethyl modifications. Then, with these protected, an APOBEC enzyme then deaminates the cytosines, and the results are significant. Perhaps the most important metric in the library prep kit is the methylation conversion efficiency. Here we show internal data that the conversion actually exceeds the gold standard of bisulfite conversion. The graph on the right shows the library yield after PCR amplification. The standard bisulfite method yields a little less than 10 nanograms per microliter. Through workflow optimization, you can bring up that yield, but right from the start, enzymatic conversion generates the best yield possible. This is indicative of more amplifiable molecules after the conversion, which leads to more of your precious, unique library reads. Next is maintaining the fragmentation pattern of cell-free DNA. With the bisulfite conversion method, its harsh degradative nature on the cell-free DNA input itself actually degrades the higher molecular weight, commonly seen in trace elements with cell-free DNA traces. These high molecular weights are produced by the boundaries or borders that break the cell-free DNA on the first, second, or third histone modifications. As there are extreme importance in identifying the information contained in these, maintaining this is extremely important in applications such as cell-free DNA. Next, the sensitivity of methylation detection. In order to kind of show and represent this in the laboratory, we asked our R&D team to go out and get 2 cell lines, one that was less than 5% methylated and another that was 100% methylated. Then we did contrived cell line mixtures to produce 25, 50, and 75% methylation species. And this is to kind of emulate what a hypo or hypermethylation detection would look like if you're applying this to cancer, your DMRs, differentially methylated regions. The IGV trace on the right here shows this in a qualitative sense. You have clearly at the states that you're looking at, 25, 50, 75, and 100% methylated, you can see very qualitatively that this is actually true and proves the sensitivity of the assay. All the quantitative data lies behind this, and this is for visual representation. Next, we wanted to look at the capture conversion efficiency. So there is 2 distinct metrics that we tend to utilize to identify the capture conversion. The first one is specificity, represented here as % off bait. So lower is better. And when you change the variable of enzymatic fragmentation in this particular panel, you have it pretty consistent at about 30% off bait. When you just use the traditional bisulfite method, that is elevated up to about 40% off bait. Now, when you move over to the uniformity metric, this is where it gets greatly enhanced. So looking at the y-axis with the 0, 25, 50, 75, and 100% methylation states of all the molecules, you can look and see a very uniform representation across all these methylation states. So this metric here is the fold 80 base penalty. It is conceptually defined as how much extra sequencing is required for 80% of the bases to approach the mean value, where lower is better and 1 is perfect. So given that, if you use bisulfite, the degradative nature creates approximately a need for 25% more sequencing just to achieve the first methylation state. But then you see an increased bias where you will begin to see a larger delta between your peaks and your valleys in your base call pileup. So if you're identifying states in the 75 to 100% methylated, you'll actually have to produce approximately 60% more sequencing to have the confidence in that variant detection. And when we take a look at these graphs, you can start to see why. So when you plot on the y-axis your targeted read counts, and then on the x-axis is your GC content spectrum, you can see a pretty even distribution across the methylation conversion. But in bisulfite, it does have a skew and a bias towards higher GC content. This is another way to show it here, where you're looking at the hypo or hypermethylated regions. And again, you take the GC content spectrum across, and the enzymatic method maintains a very uniform distribution, where the bisulfite method starts to lose out, and again, due to highly degradative nature. So in the end, when you look at the key performance metrics in a capture, you take your uniformity, specificity, and library complexity, and with all 3 of these combined, you'll arrive at your depth of coverage. So the enzymatic module put in front of our capture system produces the best quality metrics that you can see. Now, when you take this, you can apply this to multiple panel sizes, a very broad range. And again, here across 500 KB up to 50 megabases, you can see exceptional performance in very low off target, very low fold 80, which means high uniformity, a very keen duplication rate that ultimately leads to a very high depth of coverage. So in summary, the twist targeted methylation system represents a unique ability to produce target enrichment panels for your methylation sequencing. We have extreme performance across a wide range of methylation targets and enable optimized designs right out of the box to bring that flexibility to choose between your stringency levels. Also, featuring an efficient and gentle enzymatic conversion, we can maintain a very high uniform capture across your target panel that leads to a very highly sensitive epigenetic application. So in closing, thank you very much for your attention today. Please reach out to Twist Sales for any future questions, and we would love to schedule a Zoom, or when the pandemic and the world finally opens, we can go see you in person and help you achieve your goals. Thank you.